Hey guys, so I recently reached the milestone of 25,000 subscribers. So I wanted to celebrate by answering some of your frequently asked questions, but also maybe go a little deeper on some of those questions. So this also might count as one of my what did I miss type episodes.
What did I miss?
So here we go. There's a bunch of people who commented on this. The idea of the comment is that underlying the song Burn is this melodic phrase that originates from Wait For It. And indeed, you do see it come from Wait For It. However, I would actually argue it doesn't originate in Wait For It, but actually Satisfied. Now, when I talked about this melodic figure, I called it the pentatonic runs, and it's because it's the pentatonic scale going up and down. Now, what I didn't mention is that that pentatonic run isn't just static. It doesn't just stay the same. It morphs and changes and has variations, and one of those variations is called augmentation. Now, augmentation is where you take the notes and you stretch them out, you make them longer and maybe change the rhythm up a little bit. They're less recognizable, but definitely you feel them. You hear that modified, augmented pentatonic run in Satisfied itself. And so later, when it shows up in Wait For It, it's connected to Satisfied and isn't just being introduced for the first time. Now, why would it appear in Wait For It? Well, in Wait For It, again, Burr is talking about his duty to his family, right? He's talking about his grandfather, his father, his mother, how they all died and how they left him with no instructions, so he has to sort of make it up as he goes along, and his strategy would be to wait for it because there's so much at stake for him with his family.
Wait for it.
Lucy World 45, Gus Days, Mariana Flores, they comment that I didn't call the names of the notes correctly. Mi, re, do correspond, according to them, to E, D, and C. Well, that is true in a system called fixed do, which means that all the notes in solfege are fixed. So mi is always E, re is always D, and do is always C. However, in this other system of solfege called movable do, it allows you to tailor the solfege based on what key you're in. So if we're in F major, then F would be do, then G would be re, and A would be mi. So you know, this is just two different systems. Obviously, if you learn the fixed system, you're gonna see things one way. For the sake of simplicity, I just went with movable. E.A. Jensen, Jensen, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sure I am, says, the only complaint I have at all is that Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us is not the only dialogue scene in the play, for example at the end of the Adams administration. And yeah, that's true, there are other dialogue moments in the show. I call Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us a dialogue scene because the entire scene revolves around the dialogue, whereas in the other places where there is dialogue, that dialogue revolves around a song. So I would consider that a song scene as opposed to a dialogue scene. And of course, there are also monologue moments.
Hamilton wrote the other 51.
I would say Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us is the only place where dialogue drives the story and isn't tucked into a song. A lot of you mentioned this one too when I talked about the line,
"It's good to see your face."
a lot of you commented like, oh, that's not Eliza saying that, that's Angelica. Yep, it's my bad. This next comment comes from somebody, let me see if I could pronounce his name correctly. Lin-Manuel Miranda. So Lin did tweet out my most recent How Hamilton Works video, which was about How Hamilton Makes You Cry, part 3. As part of tweeting it out, he also commented that, and Howard Ho, he knows my name. I know of at least one other tune I've written with the second inversion as the downbeat chord, Sunrise from In the Heights. Now this is a comment on the last video where I discussed the second inversion, which is putting the 5th note in the bass. So it's pretty rare for a song to hammer this chord home on a downbeat. The only other song that I know that does this is Against All Odds.
So take a look at me now.
He did use the second inversion in Sunrise. It's also used in the Billy Joel song We Didn't Start the Fire.
We didn't start the fire.
Bellshaven, Clorox Bleach, the Italian President, Violet Holmes, and Steven the Cheetah comment that I'm not pronouncing reprise correctly. I'm saying reprise, and that's not the correct pronunciation. But there's actually two ways to pronounce reprise. Reprise is valid. Reprise is the action. When you reprise a song, you're bringing it back.
Reprise.
A reprise is a noun version of reprise, and that is the name of the song that is being reprised.
Reprise.
So when you say, I'm gonna sing the reprise, it means I'm gonna sing the song that is being reprised. So it's not an action anymore, it's a noun. This one probably came up the most for any other Hamilton-related comment, and it's about the superstition behind the Scottish play. You're not supposed to say Macbeth when you're in a theater because things start to fall or break, and people get hurt. Apparently,
It's all right to say the name of the character Macbeth.
which is what happens in Hamilton.
They think me Macbeth. But if you call it Macbeth,
Nakios Moon, Felipe Soto, and Juan Jose Gonzalez Pascual say that I missed the reference to Just You Wait, Henry Higgins,
Just you wait, Henry Higgins, just you wait.
or Just You Wait, Henry Higgins. That was really bad. But yeah, that's a really good reference.
But just you wait, just you wait.
Definitely Lin knows this reference. It's one of the biggest musicals of all time. Nobody mentioned this, but there was something that I missed in the last How Hamilton Makes You Cry video. I was talking about this melody, Mi, Re, Do, as being really pivotal to the show. And I just failed to mention that it shows up in a really crucial way. That melody was supposed to represent the idea of settling down, the idea of domestic life. And in one of the most domestic settling down songs of the show, it's super prominent. Of course, I'm talking about Dear Theodosia. And so I even had an actor sing Dear Theodosia to demonstrate it, and I never used it in the actual freaking video. But here it is so that you can enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll blow us all away.
All right, and then that's all that we're going to talk about today. But I want to, again, thank all my subscribers, thank all my patrons on Patreon. I just want to encourage you to leave me comments. I have more ideas on how Hamilton works videos, but if you have any specific requests, I would love to hear that. Thank you so much for making this YouTube journey amazing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Thank you.